Hello everyone, Stjepan here. I just finished my game at the Croatian Cup an hour ago, and it lasted for a bit more than 5 hours. I lost in the end, but the game was very exciting, and I had an opportunity to win several times. My opponent had a chance to crush me much before it happened in the game, and it should have ended in a draw. I had a move that was a certain draw, but I was in time trouble with 6 seconds on the clock, and I blundered. And I'm sorry, but I already went over the game with my coach, so I already saw the engine analysis, so I won't be able to do my own semi-good analysis without the engine, but I will tell you my thoughts anyway. I was playing an opponent about 300 points higher rated, so I was perhaps expected to lose anyway, but I think I played a fighting game. And one more thing, this was played in round 3. In round 2 in the morning, our team was playing against Zagreb, another club from Croatia, and Vasily Ivanchuk was playing board 1 for them. And our board 1, Leon Livajic, who is an international master rated 2497, managed to win. And I'm going to analyze the game tomorrow with Leon, so you'll be able to see how he defeated Vasily Ivanchuk. And this was in round 3, and we unfortunately lost on. It was 1.5, 2.5, so we lost on 4 boards. But the games were interesting anyway, so let's go over this one. E4, my opponent played C5, and I played knight to C3. I played it a few games ago. I decided to do that instead of F3, knight to F3, which I played during the last 2 years against the Sicilian, so I went for the closed lines. I wanted to go for the Grand Prix, but my opponent played A6 immediately. And here I thought for a while. I knew that I could play A4, but then I'm weakening the B4 square, but I played A4 anyway. I didn't want to complicate matters, this is what I knew. My opponent played B6, which is, I think, inaccurate, because now I can play bishop to C4, now E6, knight G to E2, bishop to B7, D3, all of these moves are okay. The position is slightly better for black now, and he played D5 here. And D5, believe it or not, is a mistake. And what I should have played is taken on D5. I played bishop to B3 because I figured that he can't take here, because the position will be equal after we exchange the queens, even though my king will be on D1, because I can play E3. He will give up his light squared bishop, and I will be okay. But this move was a mistake. After D5, this is the position me and my coach analyze now. E takes D5, E takes D5. Let's say bishop to A2. And now if he tries knight to F6, castles, D4, knight to E4, knight E4, D4, bishop E4. This position is great for white. In fact, it's winning, because he can't take this pawn. This pawn can't be taken, because if he takes knight to E4, then I play rook to E1, and the position is completely winning. And now whatever black does, the position is lost for him. Let's say, okay, let me just see what the best move is. The best move is bishop to E7, and now after bishop to E7, knight to G3, and you can see the obvious consequences. Let's say bishop to G6, F4, and eventually I will be able to take the bishop or do something even worse. Let's say he tries F5 here, which is the best move, H4, and the position is crashing. It's so hard to see, though, that there was no way I could see he takes D5. So I played bishop to B3, he played knight to F6, let me turn off the engine, and here I took on D5, he takes D5, knight to G3, and this position is slightly better for white. And here he played bishop to E7, which I knew was a mistake, and this position is in fact losing for him. And I played knight to F5. But the point of the move knight to A5 wasn't what I thought it was. I thought I was going to get the bishop pair. However, after castling, I castled, and then he played rook to E8, I took on E7. However, after knight to F5 castles, rook to E8, his position is completely losing if I don't take the bishop. Once I took the bishop, the position is slightly better for him. The move I should have played is queen to F3, and this is apparently completely crushing. Now the best move is knight B to D7, and I would play bishop to G5, and now his only move is bishop to F8. Now queen to G3, threatening checkmate, or threatening to take the F7 pawn, so the best move would be queen to C8. Apparently knight H6 check. If GH6, then this is just completely losing. Of course, this is checkmate. So he has to, after knight to h6 check, he has to play king to h8, and now knight takes f7, king to g8, I can bring the knight back to h6. This position is completely busted. So after rook to e8, I should have played queen to f3 immediately, but I didn't. I took on e7, and now the position is equal. He is slightly better. Rook takes e7, bishop to g5 was a good move, knight b to d7, and here I was calculating queen to f3 for about 20 minutes. And okay, I didn't play it in the end. I played rook to e1, but I should have played queen to f3. And the point of queen to f3, why I was scared of that, is after queen to f3, I was looking at d4, and I thought that my queen was getting trapped. So I was looking at queen takes b7, dc3, bc3, knight to e5, and this position seems losing for white because I have no square for my queen. The queen is attacked, and this is what I saw in my calculation, but I missed that I can play bishop takes f6 and the rook is pinned to the queen. He can't take my queen. So after knight to e5, I thought I was losing the queen, so obviously I didn't play queen to f3, but this position was in fact winning because I have bishop f6. So I have to work on my calculation. But anyway, after knight b to d7, thus I didn't go for queen to f3, I played rook to e1. And here he took rook takes e1, queen takes e1, queen to c7, and I played f3, and I was really happy about this position. Now h6, bishop h4, rook to e8, queen to f2. I thought I must have been good here and perhaps even winning, but the position is equal. And here me and my coach were calculating d4. He wanted to play it anyway, even though this f3 move was designed to stop d4. But after d4, knight to e4, he gets the e3 square, so he has a lot of compensation. Of course, he can't take with the knight, but knight to d5 would be a good move. This is the line we were looking at. Bishop g3, queen to c6, knight to d6, rook e7, knight d5, bishop d5, queen d5, knight b7, queen b7, rook e1, knight f6, bishop h4, and g5. And I think black is slightly better here because eventually he's going to get into this square and I'm going to be lost. So that's why d4 did work, and I didn't see it at all, but my opponent could have played it. Instead, he thought for about 40 minutes, 30-40 minutes, and he played bishop to c6, which I didn't think was a good move. And here I played rook to e1, threatening to take. Of course, if I take this rook, then knight takes, and then knight takes on d5, I'm winning. So he played queen to c8 so that he can recapture with the queen. And here I made a horrible mistake of taking the rook. And later, I mean after the game, I realized that I should have played rook to e2, threatening queen to e1 and just taking the e file. But I took on e8. Okay, this is the line I was looking at. Rook to e2. He will probably have to take rook e2, queen e2, d4, knight e4, bishop d5, knight takes f6, knight takes f6, bishop takes f6. It would be equal, but perhaps slightly better for me. I'm not sure, but still an equal position, definitely not worse for me. But after queen to c8, I took the rook, which is definitely not good. The position is still equal, but it wasn't the best move. Queen takes c8, and here I played queen to e1, which is just horribly passive, and I thought I would be better with a bishop pair, but I wasn't. So queen takes e1, bishop takes e1, king to f8, bishop to g3. This is all equal. Now I can turn on the engine so you can see the bar at the right side of the board. King to f2, b5, ab5, ab5, h3. This was perhaps a mistake. I should have played something else, perhaps even d4, sacrificing a pawn, but I wasn't sure. So h3, knight to b6. Now he's threatening to play d5, d4 or b4. That's at least what I thought. Bishop c7, knight f to d7, bishop a2, b4. Knight to e2, and here I was looking at knight to d1, but then I thought that I was losing after this move, and apparently I'm not. Okay. I thought this must have been losing for me. I have knight f5 check, so what? To f6, knight to d6, but doesn't he just take my pawn? Bishop c2. Oh, it's okay. I'm going too far off. But anyway, after b4, I played knight to e2. I didn't want to lose c2. Now knight to a4, knight to f4. He was threatening to take my pawn, of course. Now the engine says I should have played b3, which I thought was just horrible, because I thought I would lose the bishop for the rest of the game. But the engine found an amazing line, which I of course missed. So knight c3, knight takes c3, b c3, and I would have b4, and I would simply regain the pawn. So cb4, I would have d4, locking down the pawns. Bishop a4, knight to a5, bishop takes c2, and I would just grab all the pawns. So this position would be great for me. However, after knight to a4, I played knight to f4, and here I was expecting the move d4, because that's the only way for him to defend the pawn, but in fact taking on b2 was the best move, and he played it. He played knight takes b2, I took here, and here I thought my position was great. However, my position is losing, which I missed, because he can easily attack. He can gain a couple of tempi on my bishops and then get a better position. So knight to d1 check. Of course I can't go anywhere near e2 because he's taking my bishop, so king to g1. I didn't want to play king to g3 because after this he would have a check on h5, so king g1, knight to c3, bishop to b3, and now this is the beginning of my problems. Here, and now it's obvious that he is either taking my pawn or he's taking my bishop. And here I thought I was losing, and I was losing. And now this is the beginning of the endgame, in which I was lost for about 30 moves, and then I had a chance to draw and I played well. And then I missed the drawing move. So king to f1 was played, knight b3, cb3, and now I have to defend b3 with the king throughout the game. So king e6. Okay, and this is the position we got here. And here after h4, I thought knight to d4 was winning, and I was actually planning to resign after knight to d4. So this is what I was looking at. This is -2, and knight to d4 is not even a move for the engine. So I was looking at this. Here I of course have to take, and I was looking here at king d4, and I thought that he would eventually be a tempo up and be able to enter my position, but apparently this is a draw. Horrible. I completely missed that I could draw this. But anyway, after h4 he played g6, which is a much better move, which I thought I could draw from this position, and it's actually holdable. So now king to c2. I played king to c2 because I wanted to stop knight to d4, because I wanted to defend the b3 pawn, and this is the losing move. Horrible. King c2, losing. f6, giving me a chance to equalize again. We just played a bad ending. I thought we both played well. Bishop e3, this is okay. h5 is okay. King to b2 is horrible. It's knight d4, bishop f2, knight f5, and I constantly had to keep his king out of the d4 square, and I thought I was holding the position. I thought I was drawing here. I was actually happy. King c2, knight to g7. Now he just started maneuvering around and obviously gave me a chance to draw 100 times, but I missed it every time because I misjudged the position. The losing move, bishop e3, knight to e8 once again giving me a chance to draw, king to d2 once again losing, knight to c7 once again drawing. Apparently we both had no idea what this position was about. Bishop f2, knight to b5, king to c2. Okay, now he started maneuvering. This is horrible. It's just going -2, 0, -2, 0 every move. King to d2, all zeros. Knight to d7, equal. King to e3, a bad move. Knight to f8, equal. g4. Here I was getting angry, and yeah, I should mention I had about 2.5 minutes on the clock, and we are playing with the 30-second increment, so you get a bit of time for each move, but still not enough time to think, because he is attacking and he has time to make imprecise moves. But if I make one error, then I'm losing, and apparently I made 20 errors, so it doesn't really matter. Knight e6, gh5, king e2, king to e5, king to e3, bishop to e3, f5, and this was a mistake. Okay, so here I played king to e1, which was a good move. King to d5, and here this is what I knew I had to play, and in this position I had 6 seconds on the clock. I had 35 after the last move, and then I spent about 29 seconds thinking about what I should play here, and of course if I play f4 then it's a draw. Horrible. So yeah, in this position I played king to e2 and I resigned, so this is just horrible. But I was in sight knot and I missed it, and I knew about f4. I knew I should play f4, and if I play f4 then there's nothing he can do. He can't enter my position. There's just nothing he can do. we have to repeat moves. Okay, I mean, it was definitely an instructive loss. This ending was, I think, very instructive, and this, I think both of us should learn from our mistakes here. He should have won about 20 moves earlier, and I shouldn't have entered this endgame. But anyway, congratulations to my opponent. He played a great game. I had a chance to win with queen to f3, but I missed that. Okay, let me just go back to that position, sorry. With queen to f3, yeah, okay, here, yeah, this is, no, not this one, this one. Wait, no, here, okay, yeah. Queen to f3, so d4, and I missed that I have bishop to f6 and that his rook is pinned. So this is how I could have won the game. This is just completely winning, but I missed it, and my opponent had a well-deserved victory once again. Congratulations, and I hope you got something from this game. I hope you will be prepared when you face such an ending yourself, or that you can at least learn something from my own mistakes. Thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned for more chess. Tomorrow I'm analyzing Leon Levaic's game against Vasily Ivanchuk. Hopefully he will join me in the video. And we are playing the round tomorrow afternoon, so we will see some more games from round 4 tomorrow evening. Thanks very much, and see you later. Bye.